Hello everyone, welcome to another lecture on C++ programming language. In this lecture, we are on lecture 38 on C++ and we talk about while loop in C++. So we are on lecture 38 and we talk about while loop in C++. So in previous lecture, I explained when we need, repetition in our program, so we need to use, loops in our program. So in C++, we have, three kinds of loops. And we have while loop, we have do while loop, and we have for loop. But in this lecture, I talk about while loop. And another issue why I'm not teaching this lecture on whiteboard, because here in my city it is winter and we had big snowfall last week, and we didn't have power or electricity for 2 nights, and now we have limited power and electricity. So I use this opportunity to teach you the lecture 38, which we talk about now about while. So in C++, the while loop repeatedly executes a block of code as long as specified conditions remain true. So it's an entry control loop, meaning it checks the condition before executing the loop body. So the while loop, execute or repeats, a part of our program based on a condition. And how we can use this loop in our program and the syntax of this loop. So let me make it bigger. So I can, use the block of, let's use the block comment. So */ so I can explain here. So how can we use the while loop in our program? So first we have the while keyword, then inside parentheses we have condition, and then we open the block for the while and we close the block of while, and then we write our codes here inside the block and the code to be executed. As long as condition is true, we can say. So the code to be repeatedly executed as long as the condition is true. So we have the while keyword, then inside the parentheses we declare our condition. And if the condition is true, so the block of while will be executed. But if the condition is false, this block will not be executed. So let's go and see an example. For example, someone asks you to write the program to print, a C++, 10 times. How you can write these programs using while. So here, first, I need to declare a variable, a counter variable. And I write here integer counter is equal to 1. Then I use the while loop, while. Then I open the, the parenthesis and I write here our condition. I say while counter is smaller than or equal to 10, because I want to, I want to print out the C++ 10 times. So then I open the curly braces for the while loop, and here I can, print out. So what I can do here, I can see out. I want to see out C++. Yes, and then I can use \n, And then here we need to write counter plus plus. So let's run first this program so we can see how it works. As you can see to the output, we have here, we printed out, 10 times the word of C++, 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 if you can count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we wrote this program using while. So we first declare a variable counter, which we say, hey, start from 1. So we initialize this variable to 1, and then we check our variable. We say, we define a condition here. We say if the counter is, until the counter became, the value of counter become equal to 10 or less than 10, execute or repeat this part of the code. Then we see out, C++. So let's see. We have our counter variable is 1, and then we check the condition. 1 is less than 10, yes. So now the code will be executed, and it see out the C++, and it print out the C++. So this is our first. And then what happened? Then counter became 2, because counter plus plus means counter is equal to, like here, like counter is equal to counter plus 1. This is the meaning of counter plus plus. So here the counter variable, it was 1, but now here it became 2. Yeah, it became 2, and now it again checks the condition. Is 2 is smaller than 10? Yes. So again the condition became true, and the loop will be executed. And then again it prints C++. Then again counter became counter plus plus. It means it's become, now the value of the counter become 3, and then S3 is, again it checks the condition. S3 is less than or equal to 10. Yes, 3 is smaller than 10. So again the condition become true, and then again it execute this code, which is C out C++. It print out C++, and then counter become plus plus. It means this time the value of counter become 4. Then 4 is equal to smaller than 10. Yes, the condition become true again, and then again we have C++. It prints C++. So until it's become 10, and when the value of counter become 10, is 10 is equal to 10? Yes. So it's print out the C++, and then counter become 11 here. Then it checks the the condition, and now counter is 11. Is 11 is smaller than 10 or equal to 10? No, the condition become false. So it's only print 10 times the the C++. So let's write another example. Like for example, counter is equal to 1, and now I write the program while I say counter is smaller or equal to 5. And now I open the loop and I see out just counter end line, and I say counter plus plus. So let's run this program. If you see, our program prints number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, 1 to 5. So what happens here, our counter variable starts from 1. So we store first, the value of 1 inside the counter, and the counter is here 1. Is 1 is equal to, is 1 is smaller or equal to 5? Yes. So now the condition become true. When the condition become true, so the body of while will be executed. So now see out counter. So let's print out the number 1. Yes, because inside the counter is number 1, and it goes to the second line, and then here counter become counter plus plus. It means our counter variable become now 2. Is 2 is smaller than 5 or equal to 5? Yes, the condition became true. Again, it print out the value of the counter. And now the value of the counter this time is 2. So it print 2. And now here in this line, the counter variable became 3. Now it goes again and check, the condition. Is 3 is smaller than or equal to 5? Yes. So the condition became true. The body of the loop will be executed. And now it print the 3. And here it became 4 because it's counter plus plus. Every time the value will be increased. So now it's 4. Is 4 is smaller than or equal to 5? Yes, it is smaller than 5. So the condition became true. Again executes the body of the while loop. And now here is see out the counter. Yes, it's become 4. And then counter became 5 here. Is 5 is, smaller than or equal to 5? 5 is equal to 5. So it's become true, yes? Because 5 is equal to 5. So now the condition become true. And again, the body of the loop statement will be executed. And here it's print, the 5. It's print the 5. And counter variable now becomes 6. Is 6 is equal to 5 or smaller than 5? No. So the condition become false. When the condition become false, the body of the loops will not be executed because the while loop only repeats if the condition is true. So now as you can see here, it's print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now if someone asks you to try the program which prints out, a number from 1 to 100, how you can do that? So I write the program which prints, let's remove this, the value from 1 to 100. So how can you write this program? So first I declare, integer counter or integer I is equal to 1. It starts from 1. And then here I will use the while loop. And I say while, repeat the code until I is smaller than or equal to 100. And now what have to do? See out I. Yes? So see out I. And then every time we need to increase the value of I. So we need to write here I plus plus. So now we started our, variable from 1 because we want to print. We start from 1 till 100. Then we check our condition. Do this task, let's explain like this. Do this task, execute this, part of the loop until the value of I became, less than or equal to 100. So now if we run and compile this program, so we can see here, we can see here we printed from 1 to 100. You can see. So our program printed number from 1, 2, 3, 4 started and till 100. We can do in reverse. For example, we can start from 100 and then we can count down and then we can go till 0 or 1. So for example, if I start now reverse this print statement, so I can see start from 100 and check the condition while go till I is until I became larger than 0, and here see out I. Let's don't print on, so we just put here and space. So it starts from 100 and check the condition and execute the body of the loop until the I is bigger than 0. And here I, instead of I plus plus, we do I minus minus. It means we subtract one value from I every time. So we here it means I is equal to I minus 1. So let's run our program. If you can see here, it started from 100, then it became 99, 98, 97, 96, 95, and it goes till 1. It goes till 1. So let me, if you can see here, so it means we can start from the bigger value and then we can, subtract. So it was today lecture and it was about while loop, and see you on the next lecture for more examples.